Hello. Today I want to talk about the newest episode of Love Live Superstar Season 3, which was released on October 13th. In my last video, I rushed through a few things and overlooked some aspects that this episode emphasizes. This episode was okay, and presents a performance from the new group and explains subjects that I initially didn't pay much attention or details that I overlooked. Anyways, let's get started. Kanon tells Margarete that she wants to join her new club, but Margarete is skeptical and believes that Kanon just wants to gather information for Liella's benefit. However, she doesn't know that Kanon has already left Liella. Tomari supports Kanon during her arguing with Margarete and says that she also wants to join. However, she doesn't submit a request at that moment, which makes me wonder if she's still hesitant about joining. Maybe she's considering it. But what Tomari actually wants is gather information about school idols and understand why her sister became one. In my last video, I assumed that Tomari joins at the first try, but what I really meant was that she joins within one episode and doesn't take as long as Natsumi. Kanon wants to attend an event to showcase her group and shows Margarete the event she plans to attend, the trusty Yoyogi School Idol Festival. But there's a catch: only one group per school can participate. Kanon mentions that there's an online audition, and the group will have to compete against others to secure a spot in the festival. Margarete says that she previously won that same event defeating Liella and achieved a good position in the Love Live for a newcomer. However, Kanon drops a bomb. The point of the festival is for people to have a good time. This sentence will be important later, but for now, it explains why Margarete isn't receiving positive feedback or invitations to other events. It's because no one likes her attitude. In the previous season, she talked trash about school idols and refused to accept her defeat against Liella, complaining about the result during the event. This explains why she's being left out. And Tomari arrives and presents her request to join the new school idol group, and for the first time, she admits that she is the sister of Natsumi. Rin reveals that Natsumi's sister is in the other group, which surprises everyone, especially Natsumi. At first, she denies it, but it's obvious that she is lying. Cuckoo and Sumire confront Natsumi about it. Why is it a problem that her sister is in the other group? I feel like I might be missing something, but I don't see anything bad. Her sister is trying to compete with her, and I think that's a healthy thing. Then Tomari appears and explains why she joined the other group. She wants to learn what a school idol does and to form her own opinion, without being influenced by her sister. Also, Tomari wants to know why his sister changed his personality so abruptly and doesn't focus only on money like in the past. I'm satisfied with this explanation. Previously, I assumed Tomari wanted to rival her sister because I didn't know much about her, but this changes everything. Also, has anyone noticed the change in Chisato and Sumire's clothes across the seasons? I found this small detail quite interesting. Meanwhile, Kanon and Margarete are talking about why each one likes singing and music. Margarete says that the music consoled her in her childhood, and this is a fair point. But coming to Margarete's place, Kanon realizes that her place is actually the Kanon's house. Why is Margarete living with Kanon? Everything was planned before we noticed, and the integration of Margarete to Liella was planned even before I could realize. I think that Margarete has lived in Kanon's house before this chapter because of the day projection and the reaction of the Kanon family. This means, if Kanon had not joined Margarete's group, they would still be living in the same place, and Kanon would be somehow allied with Margarete because they were living in the same house. Everything was planned. There's someone behind this. Everything coincides. But I don't want to get further about this. Anyways, they are already preparing a new song for the upcoming event. Tomakanote needs 10,000 likes or more to qualify for the upcoming main event. They already have the music, but now they're practicing the choreography. But there is a small discrepancy. Tomari does a flip in the air while jumping, which surprises both Kanon and Margarete. But in the previous season, Margarete performed a triple backflip from a high altitude during her first performance. So why is Margarete nervous in the anime about Tomari? Maybe her first performance, called Butterfly Wing, was just a hallucination, like the Nijigasaki solos. Anyway, they're preparing for the upcoming song, which usually arrives in episode 3. I wasn't expecting a song this early, but it's fine. Tomakanote is ready to perform, but there's a problem. The number of viewers is very low, like 8,000, and they need about 10,000 likes. This is strange. I suppose the likes are only counted in the middle of the stream, or maybe people are spamming 1 for yes and 2 for no in the chat. Either way, in these circumstances, it seems pointless to sing. They're doomed. However, Kanon refuses to give up. Even though it seems impossible to reach the goal, and the public is against Margarete, his former group member, she still wants to perform. She believes that if she sings, maybe the gods of Love Live will help her. This determination inspires both Tomari and Margarete to sing. Together, they perform their new song, Bubble Rise. In the end, it seems like Margarete has turned to the good side. The hints for the new chapter are: 1. Liella is facing center issues. Without Kanon, someone has to babysitter the members. That's why I think Kanon is the best leader in all of Love Live series. It's rare to see Liella without her, and Kanon doesn't need to be extroverted or have a dumb attitude to be remembered. She just appears at the right moments, approaches situations assertively, and doesn't want to look like a perfect person. She simply does what she can to help others. 2. A central white figure. I don't know what this means. Maybe it's a translation error, or I'm missing something, but it could be referring to Shiki in some way. 3. Mei and Shiki. They returns to develop her curious relationship as both appear at the end of the episode. Maybe they are thinking about leaving or feeling down in a Liella without Kanon. This preview for the next episode is the most ambiguous in the season. I can't deduce much from it. However, based on past episodes, I would guess Liella will release a new song in episode 3, as that usually happens around this time. And this song might be aimed at countering Tomakanote. There could be more hints that I have overlooked, but honestly, I'm too lazy to check. This episode was okay. I feel that the chapter has rushed some things, but I don't mind it. And I can't see a clear clue about the next chapter like in the first one. That's because the first was so obvious and they announced the second chapter name, that is Tomakanote. The members are in and it's unnecessary to dedicate an entire chapter to recruit the 2 members or convince to join. But I don't know certainly in what moment Margarete will join to Liella. Maybe will be in the end, or in the chapter 5. Besides from that, I really want to see a subunit performance like Diver Diva in Nijigasaki, because I think that Kachu and, I don't find it equivalent to say in TTS, but it's the Jellyfish group, are too good to be ignored in this season, especially Kachu, because their 2 first songs are in my top 10 most favorite subunit songs. Now I'm gonna end this saying, thanks if someone has already reached this point. If you like this video, you can subscribe, leave a like, or comment your opinion. Something like, Liella is boring, do a review about Minecraft, or, I don't like the video, delete it. I'll be covering this season with this style of review, and I plan to talk more about Love Live and create a video explaining more topics about it, because sometimes I forget that Yohane's spin-off exists. Also, I don't watch often other animes. The last anime I watched it was the first Bocce anime, and that was 2 months ago. I will upload videos if have some spare time. Anyways, with nothing more to say, bye.